Once again, I'm back. I'm carrying forward the very important key topics on manufacturing and operations. But today, in fact, I welcome you all to this CEC Gurukul live lecture series, particularly on how to really go ahead on startups, particularly in India, in the present scenario, and how the advanced manufacturing will help startup companies in getting 100% success, because the statistics what India has shown in the recent past that 80% of the startups they close and die. This is very alarming situation. So I have come up with some very simple, lucid and understandable theory, particularly for the startups and those who are thinking to start manufacturing. On that basis, I would like to first introduce certain things on manufacturing theory. I'm sure those who are going ahead after passing out of the engineering and other streams in management, and they want to start their own organizations, it will definitely help them to gain a better momentum, and I'm sure better than 90-95% success. I will first introduce what exactly is manufacturing theory in advanced technology. It is the combination of skills, knowledge, abilities, techniques, materials, machines, computers, tools and other equipment that people use to convert raw materials into valuable goods and services. Here, one thing is important to note that technology does not just apply to high-tech organizations. Here, why I am emphasizing on technology, because this together, holistically, if you see, the technology contains the type of skills, the type of knowledge people have, their abilities to put their skills and knowledge into action, the type of techniques, the sort of raw materials, what sort of technological machines you are going to use, and what type of software, computer systems you are going to use in the production systems, and the supported tools, along with the people, those who are trained, skilled. They will convert these raw materials into valuable goods and services. And I'm sure if you do this, if you understand this particular paragraph, I think 25% you already got the success. I'll just go ahead a little bit ahead on this manufacturing theory because it has the technical complexity. One of the great persons of the world, Woodward, said that some kinds of technology are more important and difficult to control than others. It is true, because some are more difficult to program than others. So if you really see, technology is said to be programmed. It doesn't happen that you utilize the best technology and you did not really program according to the systems and the type of products you are going to produce. Then the procedures can be specified into accordingly. You have to specify these procedures for the realistic task achievement, and so that you go on to the standard sort of products which are well predictable. Friends, now how to really organize all these things? So a few important tips which I would like to really match over here, that small batch and unit technology involves making one of a kind customized products or small quantities of products, which probably is very simple, you all understand. But a small batch and unit technology scores lowest on the dimension of technical complexity. This is a bit alarming, but the conversion process is flexible again here. So what the one startup person does, that the conversion process which they will be utilizing to really get the 100% success must be flexible, with techniques adapted to individual orders. Now, large batch and mass production technology involves producing large volumes of standardized products. Large batch and mass production technology scores higher on the technical complexity dimension. Now, why I am talking about large batch and mass production technology scores higher on the technical complexity dimension, because where you are going to utilize the large batch system, mass production particularly for FMCG products and the products which are well and more sellable in the market, and if you are going to start this type of products, then the technical complexity dimension scores definitely higher. The conversion process is standardized and highly controllable, particularly in the large batches. Now, second one, that continuous process technology involves producing a steady stream of output. Now, when we talk about CPT, continuous process technology, this involves producing a steady stream of output. Why? Because the technology scores highest on the technical complexity dimension, because you are using that particular technology and the type of production system you have even under the flexible mode of operation using the latest technology, then you will get the best output of even the complex and technical complexity dimension. The conversion process is continuous and individuals are only used to manage exceptions in the work process. Now, certain task variability. When we talk about task variability, because this differs from one particular product to other product, because the products are fast moving products, durables, it depends on the life cycle of the product, then what will you do? That this will refer to the number of exceptions. When we talk about number of exceptions, means new or unexpected situations that might come in between that a person encounters while performing a task. Then what to do? You have to definitely go for the analysis. So, the task analyzability, that is the degree to which such activity is needed to solve a problem, and that's why nowadays data analytics has become very, very important. I'll come to data analytics later on, but just to make a focus point here, that task analyzability is more important. You have to give the higher precedence, higher degree of precedence, for which you have to carry out the research activity needed to solve a problem during such unexpected situations. Friends, I have given a small chart of structural characteristics and natural characteristics here. Now, the nature of technology, what you are going to utilize under different conditions. So, these are given on the chart, that some are having the higher higher volumetric weight and some are having low volumetric weight. Now, some are measurable, some are poorly measurable. Now, in such cases, that individual and joint operations are also needed. Now, why I am talking about even some are centralized, some are decentralized. So, this type of organizational structure if you set to produce a product, you get definitely very effective and high precedent of operational efficiency, which we call the operational excellence. So, that is the key area where the nature of technology, this becomes really predictable for the production managers, manufacturing managers, operation managers, and even for the startup personnel to get the better result. Friends, now some more going ahead. Now, this is the task interdependence. Now, when we talk about task interdependence and technology, now these are of different natures, which we see that some are having the distinct. When we talk about that in the individual basis, when we go ahead with small batches and we are having the standard and the customized products, then what we see that one product what you produce, second product is also same, third product is also same. So the number of products which you have predicted or to achieve that particular task, interdependence with the help of the existing technology or the technology which you have hired or attained to gain this particular output, that is the key area here. Now when we put them into the proper sequence, that is another method that sometimes we see that the bunches of products, they are sequenced together to get the result, to really finally help you in making that finished products. Some are really restructured according to the individual separate component, and also those who are coming in between under the sequential production system. So that also giving a very higher operational efficiency into the production system. So friends, task interdependence and technology, I think every owner must understand, every individual engineer, technocrat, those who are involved into the system of production or manufacturing, they must understand that how much productivity, what are the total number of products per shift they require according to the market research or market survey which they have attended to. Now, something on organizational theory, if you see that how the workflows goes, so here the workflows are not finite. It differs from one product to other product. Now, particularly for the startup companies, it's very important that the type of raw materials which you gain. Now, where do you want to? Because there are different type of production system. The number one is that you have already hired the suppliers, vendors and suppliers. So, at what input point you are going to get these raw materials or components, which goes into the inventory setup first, and when it goes to the input, now at input stage also some of the inventory, you take out some of the components, you insert into here during the assembly period, and you produce a finished product. Now there is another method which says that inventory, you don't require buffer system here. You don't require the buffer of the inventory or stockpiling that inventory at the different places. Now, once your supplier has supplied that raw materials, it goes out to the input point, goes to the different assembly system or production systems, and it gives you the varied product of different natures. So, this according to your requirement, you have to choose whether in the first year, in the second year, or in the third year, what exactly you have marked that break-even points. So, according to your break-even points, what capacity you want to produce in the first year, second year, and third year, so that you get really the operational efficiency to get that 100% products and which are available and you are supplied to the customers. Now, friends, if you have understood this much, then we will talk briefly about what is advanced manufacturing. Now, advanced manufacturing technology, this is exactly the innovation in materials technology and in knowledge technology that changed the work process of traditional mass production organization. Now, advanced manufacturing technology is not simply for the mass production system, but I am quoting it here because it requires tremendous amount of innovations. You might require every year, if a new technology emerges in the world which will help you, then probably you may have to go ahead with a new technology in the manufacturing system that will again go for the entire circle, whatever we have discussed so far, including your skills development, including your training and development, type of raw materials you need, type of design structure you have set forth. So innovation in materials technology and in knowledge that change the work process of traditional mass production organization is very important for you to really capture and insert at the right time. Friends, now we will talk briefly about what is computer-aided design. This is an advanced manufacturing technology that greatly simplifies and enhances the design process. Now this, I think, very much in use in mostly all types of production systems. Now computer-aided materials management, an advanced manufacturing technology that is used to manage the flow of raw materials and components, parts into the conversion process. So when we talk about input to conversion and output, then at the conversion point, what sort of computer-aided materials management you need. So for that, you have to use the different type of softwares which are very much available in the market or through the experts you can hire. Why I am talking about this again, for this is very, very key area for the startup companies to get the 100% operational efficiency. Now, under the advanced manufacturing technology, this is used to manage the flow of raw materials. And if you really follow this flow of raw materials on the basis of computer-aided materials management software, it means you get a very correct design and the conversion process into the finished product. Now, just in time. Let me remind you that I do remember, I think I have quoted later on about one example of Crystal Daimler case, where it so happened then they started just-in-time inventory system. Such a big company, but that also, it was in a very bad shape once. So they adopted just-in-time and flexible system to capture the market again, and they became the leader after that particular fiscal year. The just-in-time inventory system, an advanced manufacturing technology that requires inputs and components needed for production to be delivered just as they are needed, not earlier and not later. It means this exactly it will give you per shift. If you say that 300 products, finished product you need to be supplied to the market, it means you are going to get the 300 products produced and it is being logistically supplied, ready for logistically to be supplied to the market, to your dealer, distributors, or maybe to the consumers directly. Now with this just-in-time activities, it becomes a continuous process. Technical complexity increases under GIT, increasing the efficiency of the system. Now, I will talk about briefly flexible manufacturing technology. Now, this allows production of many kinds of components at little or no extra cost on same machine. Now, this is really very important for the startup organizations to utilize this FMT, flexible manufacturing technology, which will help them to design very diverse type of products under different design, and at the same time they are able to produce all such products differently under different assembly line or different production system, and they are ready at the right time to be supplied to the market. Now here computer integrated manufacturing comes into existence. It means an advanced manufacturing technology that controls the changeover from one operation to another by means of commands given to the machines through computer software, which are again I talked about in the last slide in the GIT system, that is just in time, but flexible manufacturing system, this becomes the key, the central point to produce different type of design and different type of products through the different assembly systems or production systems. Now, when we talk about amid price war, because we understand there is a tremendous competition in the market. Now, what exactly is when we talk about price war? Because everybody wants to be leader in the market. So I will give you another important mantra. What exactly for startups you are supposed to do? You must know about 3 or 4 important things which are digitally priced, which are digitally introduced, which are digitally designed and produced to be supplied to the market, so that you are ahead of your competitors. Like number 1, we talk about artificial intelligence. Yes, it's very important. Another thing in manufacturing system we can utilize Internet of Things, IoT. And the third important thing is data analytics. So 3 important things I said: artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and data analytics. So if you look into all these 3 important things, which even in the case of Chrysler, they failed to understand, even though the price war was going on in the market. So the Chrysler, it revamped its manufacturing system with the help of these 3, that is artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and data analytics. All 3 experts are important. All 3 expertise are important. All 3 skills are important, and accordingly you are able to produce the best product. So the Chrysler's new manufacturing process, now they have introduced right in the year 2005 at Illinois plant, intended to allow flexibility to build 3 or more completely different models of cars in a single plant. But actually they failed. Now, recently in 2016, they have introduced this artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and with the help of data analytics, which they carried out in the market and the market research. Now they are expected to benefit from a new generation of stronger, less expensive robots that can carry, hold and pass on large structure auto parts such as side panels, roofs and underbodies. And let me tell you that they became again the leader in this particular industrial segment. Friends, now even Toyota and Honda have used flexible manufacturing for a decade. As such, and some of the plants in Japan, Toyota and Honda produce as many as 6 different models for assembly line. Now, what are the findings of whatever we say under this comparison with the help of artificial intelligence, with the help of IoT, Internet of Things and data analytics, that India can equally optimize production as per as the needs of market with new technology, with these 3 things what we said. And if we further talk about that, what exactly, let me put little segmentation, that now 30%, 35% and again 50%. Now 30% of the market which normally people they overlook, that no, whatever will produce the market will accept it. No, it's not going to happen. It means 70% your failure. So what you have to do? You have to use the best supply chain design. And so it's the time to attract the consumers with new design, technology, supply chain management, quality, innovation, flexibility at a better cost. Now Indian manufacturers must come up to new ideation, conversion to bridge the gap on global competition. And if we take this 30% and again to 35%, now 35%, when we talk about, it means what exactly, there was a recent conclusion at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, what they call about that 35% of the global manufacturers, they utilized it, but again they could not attract the consumers because of a better design, a better technology, a better supply chain design, quality, innovation and flexibility, even though they have provided a better cost. So somewhere in competition they realize that they are failures. So at least better than 50%, if you adopt this, I am sure better than 80% success you are going to get it, because you have less competitors, and it is going to happen even up to 2022 that these particular three things like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things and data analytics, if utilized with the help of new design, technology, supply chain management, quality and innovation, flexibility, then you may be able to even cut the cost on production, and you might become very, very competitive, and you might become even the leader in the market. Now, this is very, very important for the Indian startup companies to really jump into such market where you have such ideation and you have better conversion rate under these techniques, and so you are able to bridge the gap on a global competition to get the 100% operational efficiency and 100% operational success to really satisfy the markets and consumers. Now friends, these are one important things of Indian startups which you have to consider. Otherwise again the scenario will be that 80% failures or only 20% success. No. Some of the things, like as per the Indian perspectives, it's quite valuable time for startups to start manufacturing on a global tree, what we talked about so far, of supply chain management, to take advantage of newest and advanced technology, particularly for material supply, R&D. Why I am talking about material supply? Because you don't need to keep the buffer stock. When you keep the buffer inventory, it means you are unnecessarily investing huge money to keep the stock of raw materials into your store. No. What you have to use the software to get such supplies only when you need to produce such type of products. It means you have to use the computer aided technology with the new software to really have that material supply exactly at the time of a particular shift, so that you are able to save a lot of money out of it. Now R&D, normally Indian startups, they forget to really consider R&D. R&D does not mean that you have your own R&D. There are a number of institutions in India and other countries, they will provide you such services on your products and services to give you a better research and design of the product. Please take help of them. I am sure you will save a lot of money, and the same money you can utilize further for producing a new design of product to capture the new markets. Now even the business consulting people, they should consider this point. Indian perspective is important, so that accordingly they are able to really counsel, they are able to supply such contents to the startups. And the financial technology, that's very, very another important key area for the startup companies and also for small and medium enterprises. So for the startups, Indian perspectives, if we understand what exactly is the requirement or needed in the market, accordingly you supply for next 2 to 3 years, you will not only get the break-even points better, in fact after 2 to 3 years you will have a very long range plan to go ahead with diverse design, with a diverse market, and you will again enter into the global competition and the global market. Friends, some of the important things which I would like to add here on the advanced manufacturing. That is important. Let's understand that if India has to sustain in global competition, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is emphasizing lot on GDP growth, on particularly through manufacturing sector. So, if India has to sustain global competition, it has to improve its GDP. Presently, as on the date, it is around 4.5. Why? I am sure such startups can really add lot of value to the GDP. So, if GDP has to grow, we must start producing upstream and downstream both products to satisfy consumers as well as original equipments manufacturers. Now, you have to choose here whether you are going to supply your products directly to the consumers or even to the OEMs. A very simple example which many of you are knowing, that what Silicon Valley does. Now, Silicon Valley, small manufacturers, they produce such products under different design, diverse design, and they supply directly to the original equipment manufacturers, and they are quite successful. They are getting huge money, huge, return on investment. So, friends, let's follow, such thing which will definitely add value to GDP growth and economy of India. Friends, I would like to close here today with a huge thanks to all of you, that if we carry forward, I am sure the startup companies can get 100% success. And in my next session, I would like to come up with some more important things which will add value to the GDP growth of India, and particularly how that startup organizations will get 100% and most efficient production system and operational efficiency. Thank you very much.